Hey everybody, welcome to or back to my channel, My Kind of Stuff, and today we are going to do a June wrap-up and July reset. So let's start with my June wrap-up. The first book I read was Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas. I unfortunately didn't love this one. I gave it 2 stars. It is a taboo dark romance. It is her boyfriend's father. It is age gap. But I just didn't feel the tension in this one. Like, obviously you shouldn't be flirting with your boyfriend's dad, but her boyfriend's awful. You can tell he no longer cares about her. You can tell she no longer cares about him. So, like, what's the big deal? Just break up and move on. I don't know. I didn't get it. I didn't understand the tension in here. After Birthday Girl, I listened to Shark Heart, a love story by Emily Habeck. I gave that one 3 stars. It was interesting. It was weird. It is a love story, but it is also about these people that get genetic mutations and turn into different animals. This guy in particular was turning into a great white shark. So it was all about like helping guide him through this, making sure that him and his family are safe during this transition period, and also like him exploring his new life in the ocean. It was weird. It was interesting. The audiobook was wild. You know how in Finding Nemo when Dory does the whale voice? The narrator does the whale voice. So yeah, that was the thing I read. 3 stars. Wasn't bad. Wasn't great. Another one that I gave 3 stars because, you know, we were off to a rockin' start for the month was Sanctuary of Shadow by Aurora Asher. I'm not the biggest YA fantasy person, we know this, but I obviously got caught up in the sprayed edges, and here we are. This one is, I don't even know how to describe it. The story was really weak. The twists and turns you saw coming a mile away. I'm willing to give the world another shot with book 2, just because I liked the magic. I liked the characters. I thought they were interesting. This book fell a little flat for me. But I will give book 2 a shot when it comes out. The next book I read was actually a e-arc from NetGalley for the book Morbidly Yours by Ivy Fairbank. Super cute romance. It is about a guy who is a mortician in Ireland and this girl who is from Texas who actually moves there for a job, and she is like classic Texas, like big hair, big personality. And he is asexual. He is also like very socially awkward. He gets a stutter when he's nervous in front of people. So just seeing their personalities come together and like clash, and then also this friendship and this love grow between them was really sweet. Obviously a slow burn, but really cute, and I absolutely adored it. This one is actually an indie author, and she recently got picked up and is being published now by Bloom, so that's why I got the art copy. After that, I picked up Horror Store by Grady Hendrix. I thought this one was fun. I gave it 4 stars, but like, don't go into it looking for something serious. It's about paranormal encounters basically in an IKEA. It's not called IKEA in here, obviously, but it's super fun. You get like floor plans throughout it, different furniture types and names. It's just a lot of fun. So I did quite enjoy this. I read World War Z by Max Brooks. This is the second book I've read by him. This one is Zombie Apocalypse. It's done in like an oral documentary kind of style. So it's not like a written story, like following one person's plotline. You're getting plots from like all over the world and all these different people. Also narrated by an all-star cast. If you listen to the audiobook, it is top tier. It did feel a little long towards the middle, but overall, I really liked it. I think I gave this one 3 stars just because it did feel a little long and I was like ready for it to wrap up towards the end. Then after that, I read That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Human by Kimberly Lemming. I absolutely love this world. I think it's so cute, so funny. I gave this one 4 stars. I'm not really into it so much for the relationships, but just the things that happen and like the sentient objects. It's just hilarious. There's so much fun. Absolutely great series, and I actually read this as part of the traveling book for Maggie from Maggie's Books and Stuff's Patreon. So I'll link her down below. Make sure you go check her out because we do a lot of fun stuff like this over on her Discord. After that, I read an arc of a graphic novel called Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. And that one is by Patrick Horvath. I gave that one 5 stars. If you like the show Dexter, this is definitely a graphic novel you should check out. It's done in such a cute way. Like the art style is very pastel. All of the people in it are cute little animals, but then like it's a serial killer book. So like it's just really goofy and a lot of fun, and it's actually the first book in a series, so I'm really excited to continue that one. After that, I picked up Mr. Hockey by Leah Riley. This one was really cute, really fun, but I'm not going to talk much about it because I do have a dedicated reading vlog coming out for this and 2 more novellas in the series. It is called the Hellions Angels Hockey series. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. That should be next Monday's video. And I actually have a special announcement in that video as well, so make sure you stay tuned. Then after that, I picked up A Deadly Education by Naomi Novak. This one I didn't absolutely love. I gave it 3 stars. It's really brutal. It's like a coming of power at this magical school, but not a lot happened. Like there's a whole lot of words in here and a whole lot of no plot. So I'm interested to see where book 2 goes because this is book 1 in the Scallamance series. But if nothing happens in book 2 either, I don't think it's something I'll continue, but I was interested enough to like try book 2. After that, I listened to Natural Beauty by Ling Ling Huang. And you know when you finish reading something and you're just like, what the hell did I just read? That was that book, but like in a good way. It's all about like, it's a beauty horror, so it's all about how the beauty industry is kind of like this monstrous thing. So it was really interesting and like a nice like overarching topic to talk about within the book. After that, I also listened to The Night House by Joe Nesbo. This one I gave 3 stars. It reads like an 80s Stephen King novel. It's weird, it's wild, it's unique. There's tons of plot twists, but I think that was its downfall, is there was a few too many plot twists that like it got a little convoluted at the end. Next up, I read Halloween Slaughter by Sergio Gomez. This is book 2 in the Slaughter series. I absolutely love this, gave it 5 stars. If you like slashers, this one is great. It's brutal, it's gory, the kill scenes are super unique. The way it ended, it set up book 3 perfectly, so I cannot wait to hop into that one. I'll probably start it next month because I absolutely adored this. So then we started the Read, Write, and Books Bingo Readathon. The first book I picked up for that is Murder Road by Simone St. James. This one I gave 3 stars. It was fine. It was interesting. It's about this couple that were going on their honeymoon. They got lost, ended up down this abandoned road. They picked up a hitchhiker, and she was injured, so they brought her to a hospital where she ended up dying, and now they are being convicted of murder. And they are trying to be like amateur sleuths and prove their innocence, and also like it's not the first time that weird things have happened. on this stretch of road. So they're also like looking into all the paranormal stuff as well. So really interesting read. It was fun. Then I read Sign Here by Claudia Lux. I gave this one 3 stars as well. It was a little convoluted, but also like interesting. It was kind of like it followed too many people or too many stories, and it didn't do it in a well enough thought out way. I think where it just kind of blurred together and didn't make a lot of sense because we're following the storyline of the guy who works in hell, and he's on the cusp of a big promotion, but he has to get the last member of this wealthy family to sign over their soul before he can. And then we're also following the storyline of the family. But we're following the mom, we're following the dad, we're following the 2 siblings, we're also following the siblings' friend. There's like a weird murder mystery element, and there was just way too much happening in here, and it wasn't like divided out well enough that like it got really hard to follow at points. So yeah, 3 stars. It was still fun, but a little much. Then we hopped into yet another 3-star, Leather and Lark by Bryn Weaver, which is book 2 in the Ruinous Love trilogy. I loved Butcher and Blackbird so much. 5 stars easily. This unfortunately fell a little flat for me. Lark, the female main character, was absolutely hilarious. She's funny, she's sarcastic, she's snarky. But Lachlan, the male main character, he fell really flat for me. Like he brought nothing to the table. So I don't know. This one, it was fine, but it didn't have the magic Butcher and Blackbird did, so that's why it's getting a 3 from me. Then I hopped into my next book, which is Boyfriend Material. This is book 1 in the London Calling series. This one is by Alexis Hall. Absolutely adorable male-male romance. These 2 guys, their banter is fantastic. They're sarcastic. They kind of like pick at each other, make fun of each other all the time, but in like a playful manner. It was really cute, really heartwarming because they both have like these tragic backstories and issues with their family and things that they're working through. And they're kind of like helping each other be better people. So I can't wait to jump into book 2, which is Husband Material. I'll probably add that to July's TBR as well. Next up, I read Camp Damascus by Chuck Tingle. I gave this one 3 stars. It is about a small town that is basically like funded by a gay conversion camp, but there's weird demonic things happening. There's some really gross, like almost exorcist-like scenes in here, and we're following a teen who doesn't have all of her memories, and she starts getting like attacked by demons and like remembering past events, and looking into it finds out that her parents had sent her to Camp Damascus, and they paid the church $500,000 to send her there to convert her. So this is following her story, and also she meets up with like her partner and a old camp counselor, and they kind of go back to the camp to unravel all the mysteries and figure out what the heck is going on. Then up next, I read Head Coach by Leah Riley. Gave this one 4 stars. Really cute. Again, in that same hockey romance series as Mr. Hockey that I talked about earlier. And then also read Virgin Territory, same author, same series. Again, not going to go into a ton of detail because I do have that video coming out next week. And again, special announcement in there, so make sure you're on the lookout for that video. But yeah, really cute, easy little reads. They're both under 200 pages, and I thought this bind up was pretty neat too. So it's both, well, it's 2 of the novellas in one book. And yeah, those were all the books that I read in June. And next, I want to talk about all the books that I plan to read in July. All right, so now let's talk about all the books that I want to prioritize for the month of July. I am currently in the middle of a e-art copy from NetGalley of Come Out by Natalie C. Parker, which is an LGBTQIA plus YA horror about this group of teens that uh, they're having a real hard time with life. They have very strict parents, um, but all of a sudden, randomly, one of their friends goes missing in the woods one night, and then fast forward a few years later, they start seeing like a haunting of her almost, like she's coming to seek revenge for a death. And now all of a sudden, they're having memories of being queer, and they don't really know what's going on. They don't know how or why they lost their memories. So it's just an exploration of themselves, a beautiful coming of age story, but also mixed with some horror elements from the haunting of their friend. So I'm really excited to finish that one. I also am in the process of reading The Nesting by C.J. Cook. I'm only like 20 pages in, so I've not gotten far yet, so I definitely want to finish this one up in July. This is a gothic thriller. It's about this husband who lost his wife. He hires a nanny, but now all of a sudden they're seeing mysterious footprints, and maybe the wife is not dead after all. So I'm really curious to see where this one goes. I also really want to read Final Slaughter by Sergio Gomez, which would be book 3, the final book in the Slaughter trilogy. I finished up Halloween Slaughter, which was book 2 in June. Absolutely adored it. I loved the way the book ended and set up book 3, so I'm really excited to hop into that one. I also need to read You or Someone Like You, which is my book that I need to read for July for our traveling book club hosted by Maggie over from Maggie's Books and Stuff. Again, she'll be linked down below, but we do a traveling book with her Patreon, and we all read, annotate, and take turns, so every month you get a new book to read. So this is the one I need to get to in July. Then I also, in June, read Boyfriend Material, which is book 1 in the London Calling series. So this month, I really want to get to Husband Material, which is book 2 in the series. It was absolutely adorable, so heartwarming. I loved these two guys. Their banter was top tier. Their relationship is the cutest thing ever, and I just ate up that story, so I'm so excited to continue this series. Next book I plan on reading is The Dead Guy Next Door by Lucy Score. I do have a collaborative video reading vlog for this whole series with Jenny from Haphazard Book Nook, so be on the lookout for that. It's still a couple months away, but these are chunky books, and there's the 4th one comes out soon, so I got a lot of reading to do, so definitely need to prioritize getting at least one of them off the list. Then I also plan on listening to Dreadful by Caitlin Rozakis. I don't know a ton about it, but Jenny told me that it was a fun, silly, good time and that I needed to listen to it. So I immediately went on Libby and downloaded the audiobook. So I'm going to be getting to that one really soon. Then I also am going to listen to The Teacher by Frida McFadden. Another one that Jenny said I needed to read. So of course I'm hopping right into it. I cannot wait to find out what happens in there. For both Dreadful and The Teacher, I really know next to nothing. I know The Teacher is a thriller. I assume a thriller about a teacher, but that is all I know, and that's honestly all I want to know from what I hear about Frida McFadden's books, are that they're very, easy to guess, and so I want to go in knowing as little as possible. I also plan on reading None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. This is the last book that I need to read that was on Book of the Month Club's list of best books for last year. So I'm really excited because I have loved all of them with the exception of Shark Heart, which I thought was just okay. But I've heard really good things about Lisa Jewell as well, and this book in particular, so I'm super excited to get into this one as well. Again, it's a thriller. I know it has to do with like a podcaster and a secret project, and I don't know. I don't know a ton, and I hate reading synopsis for thrillers. Like, I want to know nothing. I just want to go in blind and have a good time and see if I can figure out where it's going. And then, a very special announcement. Jenny from Haphazard Book Nook and I are going to be hosting a monthly book club. It is called Love and Horror, and we're going to be alternating every month between reading like dark romance and horror because those are our two favorite genres. Our July pick is God of Malice by Rena Kent. I know it is a college romance. Yeah, that's really honestly all I know. I think it might be bully romance as well. But I'm super excited to get into this one. And we also have all of our other books planned out for the rest of the year. So in August, we are going to be reading I Was a Teenage Slasher by Stephen Graham Jones. In September, we're going to be reading Graves by Caitlin Taylor. October, we are reading The Butcher Game by Elena Arcart. That is actually book 2 in the Dr. Wren series. So if you want to join us for that one, I do recommend that you read book 1 first. And then in November, we are reading Mayfly by C.J. Lead. And in December, we're reading Wild North by J.B. Salisbury. So I'm super excited to be announcing this. We are also launching a Discord today, so I will make sure I link that down in the description below if you guys want to join us. We'll have channels over in the Discord for everyone, to talk about the books and also other things. We will also be having like a live discussion about the book the last Sunday of every month. And that'll be at 5 p.m. Eastern, generally speaking. If the time differs, we will let you guys know in advance, but it should be 5 p.m. Eastern every last Sunday of the month. And then the Sunday before that, we will also be doing live reading sprints, alternating between our channels, so we can all kind of start the book together, because I don't want to read it too far in advance or I will forget by the live show any talking points I had. So that being said, that is the end of today's video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and give the video a thumbs up. And let me know down in the comments below if you plan on joining us for the Love and Horror Book Club, and also what books you are looking forward to reading in the month of July. Bye!